Hey, what's up guys? Justin from Out of the Basement here to bring you another Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch action figure review. We finally are going to be able to take a look at some Walmart exclusive Bad Batch stuff. If you guys don't know, these Walmart exclusive figures have pretty much been stuck in the West Coast, so we finally just got them all one day. All of a sudden, all of the pre-orders started shipping, and people were saying that it was raining Black Series figures, including us. So first, we're going to be taking a look at the Imperial clone Shocktrooper. So let's take a look at the box. Of course, we have that like crimson brick reddish color for the Bad Batch color scheme. We have the Black Series logo up here. Beautiful looking figure in the window. As you can see, it's called the Imperial clone Shocktrooper. We got a nice little profile image on the side with the mural art with some lat gunships up here. On the back, you can tell it is number 7 in the line. You have that same profile image up here, Black Series logo up there, and there is a slight read-up. If you'd like to read it, go ahead and pause it there. Side window, a little bit, Black Series logo, window up top. Let's crack it open. And you guys already know what this comes with. It comes with the DC-15S and the DC-15A clone trooper blasters. We've seen this mold 1,000 times before. It's a great looking mold. These blasters seem to be cast in like that gunmetal gray, just regular gray plastic. You guys know me, I'd rather have my blasters be cast in straight up black plastic, but still great molds. And here's a look at the DC-15A long blaster. Again, we've seen this before. It's a great looking accurate mold, but it is just, you know, gray plastic this time around. And here is the Imperial clone Shocktrooper out of the packaging, and right off the bat, you know exactly what you're getting with this guy. It is a clone trooper repaint on the new clone body with a pauldron. And if you are a fan of the new clone body, you will probably absolutely love this figure. If you are not a fan of the new clone body, it's an easy pass. I usually save that judgment for the end of the video, but it's just something that's pretty divisive within the collecting community, so I know right away, you know exactly what you're getting when it comes to this figure. My opinion though, the red really pops. The articulation is fantastic on the new clone body, and I don't mind the animated look of the helmet, and it just looks like an absolutely epic figure to me. Of course, we're going to be taking a closer look at the detail and the articulation, make a few comparisons to the other Shocktroopers in the line, but first impression, just out of the box and on the stand, fantastic shelf presence. I really like this guy. Let's check out some of those details. So coming in to take a closer look at that helmet, I genuinely think they may have fixed the Clone Trooper new clone helmet proportion issue, and it doesn't look sloppy, it doesn't look one-sided. I really think they fixed the warping issue, or at least I really hope they did. But this helmet actually has a decent amount of paint on it. We have really clean black on the visor. We have some silver on that grill. We have some red over there by the breathing apparatus. The silver is very cleanly applied on the breathing apparatus, like the tendrils, and there's some black lines over here. There is a bit of gray as well on the back. And as we make our way on the back, we just have some really clean red, white, and gray paint. Even have a little bit of gray right there. I really like the sculpt work on this helmet. The helmet gets an A+ from me. Again, it's missing the black line, but that is because this is like the animated Clone Wars / Bad Batch, because it is a Bad Batch figure, but this could easily stand in as a Clone Wars Shocktrooper as well, in my opinion, and it's the same style of animation. So taking a look at that pauldron, I really like the texture on it. Kind of looks worn. It's a darker red than the rest of the markings on the body, and it has some black paint in there as well. I like it. Some people are saying it's a little small, which I do agree. On the box, it's actually bigger. It might be a hair too small, but it doesn't bother me too much. So let's take a look at the rest of this paint. This figure does have the clean white, but with chipped red, and it doesn't bother me as much as it used to anymore, because I guess it makes sense that over time the red would start chipping away if the armor itself is white to begin with and the red is painted over in story, not just the figure. Like in story, I guess it would make sense that the red would start chipping away. And yeah, the paint is just really clean on this guy. I think the red just really pops. as we look towards the feet, there's actually a little bit of a different color down here on the feet. So we have this like these markings on the upper thigh that have that same like the paint is chipping, and we have the utility belt here. The paint is pretty much exactly what it should be. I just don't know how I feel about the chipping. You know, what do you guys think? Should it just be clean red? Should it be uniform clean red, or should it be this chipped style of red paint? What do you guys think? One thing I am noticing with the head, and it's kind of unfortunate because on this new clone trooper body and helmet, there's an actual clone head in there, and then they glue the helmet on top. I guess it's supposed to help with proportion, or I don't really know. But unfortunately, you do see a bit of the chin right there. So, you know, if this was a removable helmet, you would be able to put your thumb right there, hold the chin, and then place the helmet over it like you do with your other helmeted characters that have like faces underneath. But since this is glued in, you can't really fix that. But luckily, it's just white plastic. It's not a flesh tone under there, so the white actually fits in with the rest of the color scheme, and it's not as noticeable. And you guys know I had to do this. Over here on the left, we have the Order 66 pack from Entertainment Earth, and we have the new one from Bad Batch. There is much more battle damage and weathering on this guy and the rest of those Order 66 clones. This is a little more clean. It's just a personal preference, and of course, these are the theatrical versions of the clones. And yeah, I would be lying to you guys if I said this guy didn't look cooler, even though I actually prefer like the Clone Wars to the entire prequel trilogy. I still aesthetically I like the look of the clone troopers, the theatrical clones, better than the animated when it comes to figures. But I also, you know, Clone Wars is my second favorite thing to come out of Star Wars after the original trilogy, so you know, I'll take this clone as well. I'll take both of them, but I would be lying if I said this guy didn't look cooler. Let's take a closer look at this articulation, starting with the head. It is, of course, on that newer dumbbell neck joint. So you get some nice back and forth. You get some side to side with that. The pauldron actually does hinder the helmet articulation a little bit. Like, it's a little harder to get that 360, but of course it just is on a ball joint as well. But you do not really get that much tilt due to that pauldron. You can look up about that high and look down about that low. Not a bad amount. The arms do a complete 360. However, with the side on the pauldron, you're going to have a little bit harder of a time, but you can still do it. Just be a little careful with that pauldron, I suppose. You're not really going to be doing that anyway, but you know, you got to show it off for the articulation. The new clone body, of course, has that really nice, a little bit more than 90 degrees, and those nice cut at the elbow right there. And there is those sweet butterfly joints. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but you can trust me that it is there. All of the new clone troopers have butterfly joints, which is really helpful for aiming down the sights of their weapons. The shoulder armor actually goes above the shoulder like that. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera, but that's not hindered by the pauldron, luckily, so that's pretty cool. The hands both rotate, and the trigger finger has the vertical hinge, thank goodness. And over here, same exact articulation, but on the gripping hand, you have the horizontal hinge, as it should be. And you also have this lower arm rotation as well. The upper chest, you got that ball joint, so you can get huge rocking motion, whether it's tilt side to side, or if you want to crunch a little bit forward and a little bit back like so. The legs are a little trickier. They can kick out about that far, but you do have to twist the thigh a little bit, and can kick back about that far before you have to start twisting that thigh again. Speaking of thigh, it does rotate. The lower leg does rotate as well. You got that single jointed knee, but it goes way further than 90 degrees. And yes, we still have that knee pad issue where the knee pad is glued to the upper thigh instead of just this lower part of the knee right here. Really wish they would fix that, because I know, especially for figure photographers, that's a big deal, and yeah, they definitely need to fix it. That's definitely a jab and a knock on this figure. I'm gonna keep knocking it until they fix it. Like I said, you got some lower rotation right here. The feet always have great articulation on the Black Series. Go that far down, that far high, and of course you have that sweet, sweet ankle pivot. And here's just a little demonstration of how easy it is and how more efficient it is to aim down those sights with the new clone body when you utilize those butterfly joints, those vertical hinges on the trigger finger, and the deeper cut elbows. It does a great job aiming down the sights, which is very good aesthetically and for figure photography. So in articulation, you know, it's much better than the old clone body. Let's make some comparisons. Here he is next to the clone shock trooper from the Order 66 pack and Commander Fox, and I was a little worried that these guys wouldn't look that good together, but I think they mesh together pretty well. The new one is a bit of a brighter shade of red. I thought it was going to be a little more drastic than that when it comes to their respective shades of red. I think it's close enough where you can fudge it a little bit, or if not, you know, maybe just have an animated section of your shelf and a theatrical. I don't know. I know the clone debacle is highly divisive and they can't really decide what they want to do with the clones. Do they want to make it animated? Do they want to keep it theatrical? They've been doing like weird combinations of the two. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments where you stand in the whole clone situation. I'll take clones in whatever flavor they come in, but that's just me. Here he is next to an animated clone, the 332nd Clone Trooper, and Ahsoka Tano, both from Season 7 of the Clone Wars. Here is Grand Moff Tarkin and the Imperial Shock Trooper Stormtrooper, Crosshair and Imperial Crosshair. And to round out the Bad Batch crew, we have Hunter, Wrecker, and Tech. I do think the Shock Troopers look better with the DC-15A, so that's how I'm going to be posing them. And when it comes to my final thoughts on this figure, yeah, I love it. I'm a sucker for clones. I will take clones in the animated style, in the live action style, I don't care. And I think the red really pops. I do like the paint apps. I just think it has a great shelf presence, and I've always loved the Shock Trooper design for the clones as well. The articulation on the new Clone Trooper body is miles better than the old clone body, and I just love the natural poses you can hit with this guy, and yeah, I mean, I love it. What else am I supposed to say? I'm a sucker for clones. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you guys pick this up? Have you had your Walmart pre-orders coming in, or have they got delayed again, or, you know, dreadfully canceled? Whatever it is, let me know what you guys think about this figure in the comments down below. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are new. Here at Out of the Basement, we are always talking about Star Wars, the Black Series. Please consider joining our channel membership for only 99 cents a month. You get some cool emojis, and you get a Clone Trooper Battalion badge next to your name. And funnily enough, the most common badge right now, I think it's after 2 months, is actually the Coruscant Guard helmet. So it's fitting for this review. So thank you to everyone who has already signed up and been a member for some time now. I've been Justin from Out of the Basement, and we will see you guys next time.